Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth connected.
Hey tribe, what's going on, y'all? I love to see when people connect at one another. Lets me know that I'm on the right frequency. That's good. Engagement is encouraged on this channel. So it's my 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time download session, and I got some good information here, right? So I've been tapping in, taking my time, making sure my energy is balanced, and no cards, right? I got my intuition balls, right? I've been hopping in with these lately, right? New addition to my tools. I got many tools that I use for my process, right? And these right here, they help me tap in. And I want to talk about something I was picking up on when I got grabbed these, right? I went down to the lake the other day and I got me some fresh seashells. So, you know, my intuition is like very fluent right now. And I want to talk about an energy that I've been picking up on in the collective, right? It's a King of Wands in reverse energy that I've been picking up on. And I want to speak about this energy, and I want to talk about it from a woman's aspect and a man's aspect. Because I'm picking up on this King of Wands in reverse energy, and it's two energetic perspectives, feminine and masculine. Both are distorted. So, this particular King of Wands in reverse energy that I'm picking up on in the collective is a person that, if it's a man, first we're going to deal with a man. This is a man, Spirit says, this man will bust you down real dirty, real good. He'll bust you down real good and dirty. But the consequence for laying with this type of energy is that it's very infectious, it's very contagious, and it's contaminant, right? Those are the words that Spirit has given me. Infectious, contaminant, and contagion, right? So this particular energy is also, as a man, a particular energy that is very much connected to religion. And the reason why, meaning, not saying church is not a bad place at all. Church is a wonderful place. It's an amazing place. Church has amazing people in it. But these kind of King of Wands energies that fester and cloak themselves in religion, they do this because they are spirit driven. And spirits love to fester where, see, while church is a place that is spiritually sensitive, okay, it's spiritually sensitive, right? It harbors many different spiritual aspects of persons, right? Often said that some of the biggest demons, they harbor themselves in religious factions, you know, but nevertheless, this particular King of Wands has found a way to connect themselves with the righteous. Although they don't represent what the righteous represents, they may scream righteousness and they may throw a lot of biblical verses at you. But this particular energy does not represent what the righteous represents. So Spirit says, begin to admonish if this energy is in your life, right? It's like some things we can do without. And as a woman, this King of Wands energy in reverse that I'm picking up on, it's a woman who's very straightforward in her masculine. A King of Wands in reverse energy from a feminine aspect that I'm picking up on is somebody who's very, very dominant with their sexuality, right? So therefore, they're very much masculine. They probably bore easy with men. So it's probably from one man to the next man, because this is the masculine persona of the King of Wands in reverse when the soul is encased in a woman, right? So the woman, of course, she's not going to be using a wand like the man, but she'll be using her sexuality in a dominant way, right? Again, this is an energy that will attempt to whip you down with religion, because this is a person that is probably very versed in scriptures and all of that, right? Because like I said, they found connectivity with the righteous, but this energy is not, it's not at all what you would consider to be righteous, although it stands with righteous people. You understand? So like this kind of energy in your life, they might be criticizing you, but the righteous doesn't stand for that. So just bypass that. And like I said, remember, the consequences of laying down with this particular energy that I'm picking on when I had my, when I had my intuition balls, this particular energy is highly infectious, contagious, and contaminated. All right. All right. So moving right on to the downloads, right? Got some wrote down. I got 7 of them. So first one, if you squeeze a Capri Sun and nothing comes out, you squeeze it harder, right? And life's assimilations, it's the same way. I'm gonna break it down. You know, the Capri Suns, everybody drunk them before. You know how you grab them and you gotta squeeze them to get the juice out? Well, imagine picking a Capri Sun up and squeezing it and nothing comes out. You squeeze it harder, right, to get to the juice. Well, this is what life does to us, divine beings. It squeezes us to get what's out. You can never truly reach what's in you until you exhaust what you know to be comfortable about yourself, what you know to be the limit of your knowledge. When you exhaust all of these things, then you begin to reach something that's in you that only can come out by pressure being applied. It's like a Capri Sun. So when you feel life dripping down on you, don't look at it as being, don't look at it as being an obstacle that you can't get past. Don't look at it like, why is life doing this to me? It's not none of that. What it is life is squeezing you to a place to get what's in you out of you. Oftentimes, we'll never bring what's out of us unless we squeezed. All right? So, remember, when you're going through in life, you feel pressure on you, right? It's what's coming out of you. It's squeezing what's out of you. So life has to do that. It's like a test. Okay, now number 2, the frustration of Christ is incorporated in this download. So evil wants you to devalue yourself because of your value to the Most High and others. And this was the frustration of Christ. See, when you look at it, Christ spent a lot of time frustrated with the disciples because he could look at them and see their value. Like he would tap in and he would look at them like, all you gotta do is just tap in. And they didn't get it because they didn't know how to value who they were. They looked at him like, okay, he's the end all be all, right? Which in the frustration of Christ is demonstrated in the parables of Scripture in a very fine way, because it says, when he went to pray in Gethsemane, he told them to stay awake and watch. They fell asleep. He went back again, came back, they fell asleep again, because they didn't see their value. They didn't see the severity of what was going on. They didn't see their role in the scheme of things. They figured, oh, he going to pray, we'll just go to sleep. But they didn't know this was the last prayer that he was going to make. They didn't know. They didn't realize, right? So oftentimes he was frustrated with them for the same way God is frustrated with us now. We look to do things that, think about it. When Christ looked at the disciples, he was trying to encourage them to pick up their own power and move in their own power. But they was too busy looking at him. That's why they didn't get it until he left. When he left, then they realized, oh, all right, now I understand what was going on. It's the same way with us. Like, evil wants you to look at yourself and be like, I'm not worth this. I'm not able to do this. I can't achieve this. Because if you devalue yourself, you can't receive a message on a higher level, for one, because your mind won't extend. You won't ever think that you mean much to other people because the value you hold for yourself, you won't be able to see it. And you got to be careful because people will allow you to devalue yourself to get a handle on you. You could be in somebody's, for real, like, is this serious? You could be in somebody's energy connected to them. And they can know your value. And they could still cover that with envy and convince you that you're not even worth what you are to them. They misplace what you mean to them. Because why? That's how humans work. When people tap into their lower vibrational energy, you'd be amazed at what you find, and you'd be amazed at what they see about you, right? When people begin to work with demonic energies, they begin to look at you with the energy of Malokia, right? Malokia is a form of evil eye, and it's very telling, right? Think about it. Thank you, Spirit. It was a place where Paul and Silas in the Bible, they was walking in the market, and a lady came to them, and she was working with a demon, and she was like, they are men of God, right? Because why? The demon was showing her who they were. So she was coming in that energy. It's the same way with some of the people that you may be connected to. They work with low vibrational energies that can see who you is. So when you're not looking, they might look at you. They might, but their duty is to convince you that you're not who you are. All right, so beware and remember, it's not God trying to humble you all the time. Sometimes it's you devaluing yourself and not being willing to step into the place where God trying to get you, so he can speak to you, so he can show you things, so that he can open up revelations to you. Evil wants you to devalue yourself, because if your value, because of your value to the Most High and others. And that's the most important part. We're in a war of souls, right? We're in a battle over your soulish aspect. That's what we war against now. That's what the war is right now. It's a battle for your soul. So don't let evil convince you that you're not valuable to God. Number 3, spiritual narcissism. Spiritual narcissism and religious narcissism is running rampant in the collective. And a major reason why is because God is giving birth to new ideals and concepts that go against what stands already. And this is funny because this reminds me of how it was when Christ came into the world, according to the biblical scriptures. When Christ came into the world, you had the Pharisees. They held the book. They held religious authority. Sadducees, Pharisees. But on the other hand, you had the magicians of Baal, like the Magi's. They was dealing and dabbling in magic and the arts and all of that, right? So when Christ was birthed and came into his missive, the world was the same way it is today. It was full of spiritual narcissism and religious narcissism. This is what crucified Christ, religious narcissism, according to the Bible. The Sadducees and the Pharisees, they didn't want his theology to move. They was like, nah, we can't let him do this. So we gotta get a way to get him out of here. So this is what crucified him, religious narcissism and spiritual narcissism. Because a spiritual narcissist is a very dangerous person. And I'm gonna tell you why. The religious narcissist is dangerous too, but not as near as dangerous as a spiritual narcissist. Because a spiritual narcissist is a person that has knowledge of esoteric things. But they come into this sense of entitlement where they feel like if you're not moving into your power the way that they know or the way that they seen it or the way that they familiar with, they begin to throw stones at you, tell you what you're not doing right, tell you how you're unprotected. This is what spiritual narcissists do. And you have a lot of readers who are spiritual narcissists. So you got to be careful. The spiritual narcissist will convince you that what you practice and what you do is ineffective. Why? Because you didn't go do it this way and you didn't dot all your I's and cross all your T's. And so I say to the spiritual narcissist and the religious narcissist, God is greater. And let that resonate with you. You know, when God gives you something and etch it into you, your heart, and your mind. Don't let a narcissist pry you away from it. You got to hold fast to what the Most High is giving unto you. And that's real for everybody in order for you to continue to move forward. Because if you come out of what God is doing and what God is giving you, you're going to fall victim to spiritual narcissism or religious narcissism. And both of these personalities are nasty work when put on display by a human. Real nasty work, right? It'll have you feeling confused and dazed as if you don't have the ability to hear from God. That's what narcissists do. God will tell you something, they'll come right behind God and tell you you didn't hear from God. So be aware of these kind of people. God has given birth to new ideals, new concepts that go against what stands. That's what God has always done. He's always done that. When people hold sense of entitlement over the way that God is moving in his rhythm, he moves in another direction. Give it to another selection. This is how it goes. Okay. Number 4. As opposed to placing faith in crystals and materials for protection, honor the covenant that your life over your life that enables whatever protection you do have. You have a covenant that protects you, divine seed. It's not your crystals. It's not the spirits that you associate with, or none of that, right? If you're moving under the sound of this missive, and this is resonating, you need to begin to honor the covenant that enables you to be protected. Because if God didn't stamp you, it ain't a spirit that can save you. If you're not stamped by the Most High, you fall victim to so much. So this is for my survivors of black magic. This is for my people, generational curse breakers, all of that. Reverence the covenant that enables your protection. Because you under a covenant, this is what enables you to have powerful ancestors moving with you. Because you have a covenant over your life. You're under covenant. Covenant is an agreement. It's an agreement. It can be an agreement that you made. You ever heard of the word predestination? It speaks about it in the Bible. Agreements were made before we come into these bodies, y'all. Soulless contracts. So your agreement becomes your covenant. As long as you walk in your agreement, you're covered. It's a covenant. It's an agreement. And this is what saves us. This is what preserves us. Not crystals. Not people laying hands on you. None of that stuff is what's going to save you from certain and particular evil. The only thing going to save you is a covenant. It's like, it reminds me of Solomon. How Solomon done so much, y'all. Like, you know, he was a person that went through life. He began to lose his faith later on. And he began to worship foreign gods and pagan gods, right? And all throughout this, his life was never taken because he had a covenant, right? So he dishonored his covenant to a certain degree at the end. You got Solomon that wrote grimoires, spell books, and all of that, right? Dabbled in a lot of necromancy and things that he wasn't necessarily supposed to dabble in, right? According to his agreement. But Solomon lived under a covenant, and a lot of us do. So honor your covenant, right? Don't be boastful about it or none of that. If you have a covenant, just honor it. Don't give people advice because everybody is not under the same covenant as you. So if you speak, let it be from spirit and let it be real, right? Don't just tell people different things because they might not be under the same covenant. Okay. Number 5. If you don't recognize your own strength, it can be used against you. That's simple. If you don't recognize the strength that you have, a person can recognize it in you and use it against you, right? Like for instance, say you're a person that have anger issues. The energy of anger is a great strength, right? It can even be a form of an entity. So that strength that drives your anger, it can be transmuted into a great power if you're aware of it. If you're not aware of it, a person can rouse you to anger and make you lash out and cause you to use your strength against yourself. Agreeing with people is a misuse of strength. Like, let's say a person decided to slander so-and-so over there, and they draw you into a conversation. Now you begin to slander so-and-so, right? Well, if you're the stronger person, you do the most spiritual damage, which means you inherit the karma. Yeah, they set you up. They talking about somebody over there. Their ancestors, they don't like it. So they feel as though they want to do something about it. Now things falling apart in your life because you chose to agree. Don't let people use your strength against you. Like, when you're a strong person, people always want to bring negativity to you because your strength can keep it moving. Your strength can stamp the rumor down. You know, people love to run rumors to strong people because once a strong person stamp it, the rumor grows and it grows, right? So that's just a way that people get you to use your strength against yourself. Also, listening to people who just have discouraging words or rhythms or monotones, like, you know, it's like every time you come up with an idea or something and you spit it to somebody, they discourage you. Recognize that this person is using your strength against you. They're transmuting the strength of your idea against you. Why? Because you're looking for validation. So they know that they know your strength, you don't know it. So they know, how they know your strength. I could prove it. When people do shit like that, you know what they feel? Thank you, Spirit. I'm in the shower. I'm using my dark empathetic gift right now. When you go to people and you got a good idea that could possibly work and they secretly don't want it to work, it churns a will inside of them, right? And if you study their facial expression, they'll pop out with something like, I don't know if that's gonna work, right? That's coming from a place that churns deep inside the spirit realm in them. Yeah, you can't always say it on the 3D. But if a person is discouraging every time you have an idea, right? They never really offer support. That's because they're working against you and they're using your strength against you. How do you do that? How do you redirect that? Stop making them the person that you tell things to. It don't give them an insight to your strength. You don't think they see your strength? When you come to them with that idea, they look at it and sometimes they be like, damn, I wish I would have thought of that. Right? So they recognize the strength in it. Don't let them use that against you. Right? Number 6. This is from the book of Corinthians, 14th chapter, verse 32. It says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophet. The spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophet. So this goes back again to valuing yourself. Understand this. Nothing that you work with can overstep your will. It's subject behind your will. Meaning you don't have to move with it. You don't have to be affected by it. It's subject. The spirits of the prophet are subject to the prophet. Good spirits and bad spirits. You can order them. You can invoke them. You can do all of these things because they're subject to you. They're not owned by the prophet. They subject. So when you feel like you under spiritual attack, right? Begin to center yourself and speak against those energies because your will makes them subject, orderable. Not owning. We don't own spirits, and we are not more powerful than spirits. But spirits are subject to the people that they connected to. They are subject. So begin to look at it and begin to understand it, like, because some of us, we get in situations where I'm pressed down, the spirits, they attacking me. Center yourself and get them out of your life. Get them away from you. Realize, like, your will, nothing can come and bend your will. God gave us free will. So, last but not least, download number 7. And this is it. And I'm going to back out after that. Your love, right? Your love, Starseed, it feels like spell work to a lot of your enemies. Like, you are a person, right? And I feel this strongly. You're so connected to God that people have moved in the dark and done things against you, right? And all you did was love. Love is so powerful that it became a defender. So, and a deflector, right? See, love is the perfect return to sender. Because when you show love, people throw magic, you show love. You ain't go back and throw a spell. You ain't do none of that. They threw magic, you showed love. That love deflected that magic and sent it back. So now your love looks like spell work. And you didn't do it. So you don't have to own it. You don't have to fall under the accusations of other people. That's on them. If you know that you sincerely move in love, you never went in the dark, you never had to do none of that, but yet and still, people feel power exude off of you, causing them destruction, that's on them, not on you. That's the way that love works. Love works against evil. So when people throw evil at people of love and then they suffer evil, it has nothing to do with you or your love. Love is doing what it's supposed to do. Love is a deflector. You don't need a return asunder. Somebody throw root work at you, but you working on your chakras. Somebody throw black magic at you, but you good with your spirit. You good with spirit. You good with God. You tucked in tight. You doing your work. And people do these things to you. All you do, your love feels like spell. You ain't even do nothing. It's just your love. So don't become a person that absorbs that kind of energy. Like, whatever happened is not your fault. And it's for a specific person. Because you can be enduring that, or you could be about to walk into that, where people are accusing you of all types of things because the things that they did are returning to them now. So now it's like, oh, this person did this to me. No, you didn't. I know that you didn't. I know that you're being accused of it. But I understand that you didn't do any of those things. So let your love, right? Love has a way of covering a multitude of all of that, right? Love gonna show us up to be who we say we is. Thank you, Spirit. Love gonna show you up to be who you say you is. You don't have to respond to no accusations because I'm seeing people's lives literally falling apart. People that did shit in the dark and thought it was funny, right? Like, you had a lot of people over these past, it's thank you, Spirit. It's been real abundant over these past 2 years. Like, I'm seeing in my clairs, even as I peep, witchcraft, people out in the woods doing witchcraft, people out in the park doing witchcraft, people reciting incantations on people. I see all of that shit that people was doing. They was doing this shit for like the past 2 years. And the reason why, thank you, Spirit, is because evil made its play first. What am I saying? Evil chose to awaken some people earlier than others. So a lot of people woke up and started throwing magic spells and shit on people because it was working, right? And this is where the spiritual narcissists took rank, because it was the ones that was versed with the doctrines that was teaching them to do the shit. The ones that held the magic, you know, the older magicians, the one that held, they was teaching them how to do this kind of stuff over the last 3 years real strong, right? Getting great pleasure from it, right? Just because it was such an abundance of sleeping giants, like your Spirit. We were so sleep that we were like prey. But now it changed because God decided, all right, evil made its play, now the divine makes its play. Let's wake them up. So we woke up, and now that we woke up, ancestors in here, they sitting around. Everybody got things to answer for now, right? Why? Because the covenants, they hold firm. Thank God for the people that you connected to that went through hell and came out on the other side looking like me. Because we them people we the ones that got the covenant. So when you connect to us, you under covenant. We gonna be all right. We gonna be okay, right? And I say that, like, don't let them accuse you of nothing that they going through right now. It ain't your fault. It's not. It became above you when people decided to attack you in those spiritual places. God took it above you. The Most High said, all right, that's not fair. So justice, we gotta restore equality in the world. So we gotta let them wake up. Let the ones that the magic was worked on, because I try to tell people, I try to tell so-called church people this, right? I love them to death, bless their heart. And I try to tell them, what would you do if witchcraft left things on your doorstep? If God said, I'm going to allow witchcraft to touch my child, and they're going to see some things that the average Christian won't see, or the average churchgoer or Muslim or whatever, the average religious person, they won't see, because they've never really been touched by the energy of black magic for real. I'm talking about Ikile magic. That's death magic. See, a lot of people don't know what that is. So when God allows that to touch you, of course you wake up different. You wake up understanding that a lot of that traditional shit don't work against what was thrown at you. It doesn't work. God showed you it didn't work. Remember when you was going through suffering attacks from black magic and shit got real, and remember the church couldn't help you? It wasn't that they didn't want to. It was God was showing you that it's so much deeper than this. This is the level where I need you to wake up on. Starseed, right here. Boom. So the black magic hits you. You're seeing things. You different. Right? It's a part of you that becomes what affected you. Right? So it's about balancing out that energy. Sure, you have gifts that you didn't ask for. That's a part of being touched by black magic. When people drag you into the spirit realm, certain ways, whether you want to go or not, when you come back, you got things that they just there. And they not all demonic or none of that, right? God equips us with what we need. Right? So, yeah. Don't again, let me reiterate, don't feel responsible for the things that's happening to people. It's gonna show up. And I'm not wishing anything on anybody. I'm telling you what I see and what I know, because I know what justice is, I know what it looks like, I know what justice feels like. I've been around for some time now, right? So I've really got a firm grasp on what justice feels like, the energy of it. And when people go to pretending like everything is okay and they done a lot of dirty shit in the spirit, that's when it's hitting. So when you feel like, you know, when you feel spirits trying to persuade you that you were in the wrong, like, cause you know, like maybe I was wrong, maybe they was right. Nah, that's just justice playing out. That's just justice playing out. Evil always go to performing when the authority shows up. The authority has shown up. God is not playing. Scales have to be balanced. We can't continue on like this. We have become a world that is basically tormented by spiritual narcissists and religious narcissists. We are tormented on both ends. They screaming and hollering both ways. Can't hear nothing clearly. The preacher screaming, the witch screaming. The deacon screaming, the magi screaming. Everybody's screaming. All this bullshit. But nobody's screaming, be authentically you. You know? People out here, their ancestors is grabbing them and bringing them into levels of spirit, and you got people over top of them telling them you ain't hearing from your ancestors. Why would you do that to somebody? You don't know who they hear from. Nobody wants anybody to beat them at something that doesn't belong to them anyway. You understand me? God's power, it belongs to all of us. So why do we have so many people trying to knock people back from moving into what God gave them? Just so they can exist? I mean, you got people doing it all around. On social network, in real life, around the towns, around the cities. People knocking, everybody shouting. But I tell you again, look and peep it. If it's a walking representation of spiritual narcissism or religious narcissism, move away from it. It's a greater hand being extended. Truly. Like God not gonna gather in that, y'all. A person that, when you lean, once you become a comfortable narcissist, you like that far away from being subjugated by the demonic. The narcissist and the demon-possessed person, they like an inch away from each other, for real, if not one and the same. I've never seen a day where there are so many powerful people who are awakening. I meet them, and God gave me a great spiritual centering, because when I meet people, even if they rub me wrong, I turn that off, because I done been wrong about trying to judge people and who they is, right? I learned to look through my spiritual eye, and I see magnificent things in people. I don't look for the quirks in people, because we all have them. And that's what the spiritual narcissists do. Spiritual narcissists will tell people you can't move in spirit because you got this about you. Who are you to tell somebody that? That's why spirit out here moving where it's moving. It's moving out of the hands of the ministers, the Babalawus, and spirit is moving right into the people that humble, wasn't even looking for it, didn't even expect it, because they work with a boo. How can God work with somebody that think that God power belong to them? and only them and nobody else. Why would God work with that? Whatever you deem God to be, greater, higher power. So, yeah, y'all, let's get to it. I'm going to pull an angel number before I get out of here. I'm being led to grab an angel number. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to step away. I just pulled this card earlier, and it came out again. Y'all seen me shuffle it. 2020, right? Spiritual insight, vision, self-realization. So your vision is sharp. You see. There's no need for you to question. You see very clearly. The question is, how are you going to act about it? What you see that you can't deny, how are you going to act about it? Because you can't continue on in life as if you don't see. That's not going to do anything for you, but bring you to a constant state of confusion. God is showing you something that you got to act on. The Most High, not man, not the people who you deem the authorities over your life, the energy of God. Like, I hear spirits say the tetragrammatron energy, right? Like Metatron and all of those big boys. You know, the ones that move God missive around. Gabriel and all of them. Self-realization, moderation, patience, flowing, self-realization, manifestation, gateway, taking action. Remember I just said, how you going to act about what you see? Taking action. So let's take action, y'all. Okay, that was the mission. God bless you all. I pray that you was enlightened. Pray that you got something out of this. If you would like to be a blessing to the channel, the information is on the page. So until next time, guys, see you all. I'm going to play you all out.